first two attempts at that didn't work, and we had a bit of a disaster because I banged on this peg too hard and I've actually cracked the side of the pressing board, which is, you know, annoying. Now I'm going to try a different technique. Now I've had this reamer for ages. When I got it, it was really rusted, and I've done a basic clean up and sharpen. I need to grind in here a little bit more, but it'll work for now. And I've never actually done this technique before, so this is a first, and we'll see if it works. So the plan is I'm going to have a peg going through here which will have a bigger head, which will hold the very thin lathe down, and then I'm going to ream the underside of the hole, cut a wedge, and then splay the peg to hold it in. So let's see if it works. Now you don't want to ream the entire hole. In fact, what you actually do is you only want to ream the end grain. Then let's not get too carried away. And the first thing I'll say is don't do it with a blunt reamer. What I've mostly done is distorted the fibres, not actually cut them. Anyway, but now we're going to cut the peg. Right, now I'm going to take these inside and bake them to make sure that they're dry. They're very, very dry. Now, normally what I would do with this sort of thing is I would have it inside for days or weeks near the heater to dry out, but unfortunately I haven't thought that far ahead. 523.5. 523. Okay, so it was 523.5, now it's 521. We'll stick it in for another 5 minutes and see what happens. 521.5, ready to go. Now you saw on the other ones I did, it was very easy to split these. So I want to make sure there's no outward pressure on them. So I'm just going to clean that hole up a little bit more, widen it out, that it's easier to slip this in. And that saw cut needs to be perpendicular to the grain direction of the piece, which is going to be held by the wedge, if that makes sense. So when we spread this, the peg, when it's splayed, is going to be bearing on not this but this, and so we want to make sure that the pressure is running the length of the grain, not across. If it's running across, it can split it. If it's running the length, wood's much stronger, so you have to be phenomenal amounts of stress to break it. So just stick that in there. Now this is a technique that I first read about in an archaeological book on some Saxon doors that they found, and they were held together this way, but it was much bigger pieces, much easier to get it to work. So I'm not sure it's going to work at this small scale, but yeah, we'll give it a go. So you won't be able to see it on the camera, but that's not, the saw cut's not quite perpendicular with the grain. So I'm just going to stick my marking knife in there and grab it from the underside and give it a bit of a... No, I'm not going to do that. That's not going anywhere. Unless we get a bigger tool.
Now I'm going to try this without glue, because I don't like using glue.
Oh. Crikey, that's tight. Alright, well that looks pretty cool. I reckon we'll do some more of those and get this pressing board done. Alrighty. On a shampoo on that corner. Done. On that side. Flip it around. Now, this is the front. Kidding me. Sticker. Oh. How did I do that? How the hell did I do that? I've got them switched. How is that even possible? That's fatter at that end. Oh. Okay. Okay, how do I fix this? Right, so I'm just queuing to the line. So that will be straight all the way along. So that's the next pressing board done. It's actually the fourth board. Boys, can you be quiet? I'm recording. I'm pretty pleased with it, not entirely, but see this didn't work, that one, but all those others pretty much worked. Here, the wedge was too thin and it's actually gone all the way through the peg and out the other side, which is not ideal, but it's probably not really that much of a problem. This one here I didn't set properly before finishing it, and I've split the slat, so again, not ideal, but probably not a problem. Some of the slats I didn't get perfectly positioned before I drilled the holes, so the holes are quite a little bit too close together, so we've got some of the slats are bowing, but it's not going to affect how it works. And of course, stuffing up the taper, well, that was a bit of a muck up, but I fixed that with my hewing hatchet. That's now got a good taper on it, so it should run, the juice should run at least, if not front to back, then at least from outside to inside, and then drip down the cheese below. So, you know, I'm pretty pleased with that. And we've got to see whether this system will hold up, whether these will stand the test of time and use as they're getting, being put through the press. What I'm thinking though is that this arrangement might be better than the sliding dovetail arrangement. Now, if these, oh, I need to plane that off. If these fail, like if these slats pop out of these sliding dovetails, well, there's no real way of repairing that joint. Whereas, if these pegs fail, I can drill out that peg, slightly enlarge the hole, and put another peg in. So I think if it's a choice between this and that, I reckon the pegs are the way to go. But anyway, there's a different style of pressing board I'm going to do next. And yeah, we'll see that in the next video. But now, for the beehive clue.